On a stormy night, a man named Neil knocks on the door of a pub owned by Owen. Neil wants to see his dead wife and offers Owen a lot of money for the chance to talk to her. Owen says no and advises Neil to leave. As Neil goes away, Owen records a message warning the listener about a special tenant in the property's basement. Owen then goes to the basement and ties someone to a chair, planning to set a fire. But something touches his face and he catches fire, dying instantly. Later, a young girl named Iris sneaks into a house with her friend to pack her things because she can't pay rent. Suddenly, she gets a call saying her father has died. Shocked, she flies to London to identify his body. A solicitor takes her to her father's pub and shows her around. Iris asks if she can stay the night, and the solicitor says yes. At night, her friend Katie plans to visit. While Iris sleeps, she hears noises downstairs and investigates. She sees Neil and grabs bottles to protect herself. Neil says he wants to see his wife in the basement and offers Iris money. She tells him to come back the next day since she doesn't have the basement keys yet. Before giving Iris the house keys, the solicitor asks her to sign an old document and gives her a cassette with a secret message from her father. The next day, when Katie arrives, Iris tells her about Neil wanting to see his wife in the basement. When Neil shows up, Iris takes him downstairs. Neil calls out, but nobody responds. When Iris speaks to whoever might be there, they see a shadow emerging. Soon, a strange creature wrapped in a sack with a bag over its head appears, trying to get closer to Iris. She commands it to stop, and it obeys. She instructs it to sit, and Neil sits next to it, offering his wife's ring, which the creature accepts and puts in its mouth. Neil then ties the creature to the chair, and it transforms into a woman when he removes the bag from her head. To Neil's surprise, it's not his wife, but her mother. He asks why she left him as a child, and her response hurts deeply. She explains that life felt like a slow death after his birth. Then, unexpectedly, she asks Neil for a kiss, recalling how he never wanted to kiss her as a child. Shocked, Neil quickly leaves the scene. When he looks back, the woman has vanished from the chair, leaving Neil confused as he scans the basement. Suddenly, the woman grabs Neil from an unexpected angle and demands a kiss. Surprisingly, she vomits water on him, but when Iris tells her to stop, the woman complies. Neil tells Iris to cover the woman's head again with the bag, and when she does, the woman returns to her original form, spitting out the ring before going back into the hole. When they leave the basement, Neil explains that the ring originally belonged to his mother. He suggests trying again, but Iris refuses, saying his wife is gone and he should find peace. Before leaving, Neil admits he forgot to mention they can only talk to her for 2 minutes. Later, Iris watches a recording her father left where he explains about the creature. He warns her not to let it out of the basement, not to speak to it more than once, and apologizes for abandoning her as a child. After watching the recording, Katie confronts Iris about the woman in the basement and insists she leave. Iris explains they can stay for a few days because she has nowhere else to go. Then both Iris and Katie head to the basement. Iris writes "Do not cross" on the basement stairs and commands the creature not to cross the step. Katie puts a barrel against the door for safety. When she turns to leave, a picture falls off the wall. She picks it up and starts researching it. While doing so, she thinks she sees someone sitting in front of her, causing her to grab a stick for protection, but no one is there. Meanwhile, Iris visits Neil's house, where he kindly serves her tea. They discuss Iris's father, and Neil reveals they had a deal to talk to his dead wife, which fell through because her father changed his mind. Iris is surprised and admits she didn't know her dad well or where he lived. They both return to the basement, where Neil gives the creature a necklace that once belonged to his wife. As Iris notices time ticking away, Neil removes the bag from the creature's head, revealing his deceased wife. Neil embraces her and asks about the person she was cheating with, suspecting she was going to leave him. Iris warns him they only have 30 seconds left, but Sarah, Neil's wife, doesn't remember anything. As 2 minutes pass, Sarah tells him there was no other man, she just didn't want to be with him anymore. As Iris moves to put the bag on her head, the creature moves back. Suddenly, it gets dark and Iris hears her mother's voice. As Iris moves closer to her mother, ready to put the bag on her head, her mother screams and crawls towards Iris, trying to cover her mouth. Iris commands the creature to obey her, but it responds that they are both prisoners before she puts the bag back on her mother's head. Upstairs, Iris confronts Neil for lying to her, and Katie angrily tells him to leave. As Iris sits there, she sees her father talking to her mother. He says she's going to see Iris now, but her mother warns him about the consequences if he tries to leave. Then her mother tells him to set her free and everything will be over. Owen suggests burning the place down so no one has to deal with it anymore. As he tries to light the lighter, he burns himself in the fire. At night, Iris wakes up and goes to the basement. She sees her father there, but when he touches his face, it comes off, revealing it's the creature. In anger, she tries to choke it, but feels like she's the one being choked. When she takes off the mask, it's her own face, and she wakes up from the nightmare, gasping for air. She goes to the bathroom to use the scissors, but fortunately, Katie arrives and cuts the key strip from her neck, throwing it away. They both go to meet the solicitor, but no one is there. When they return home, Katie tells Iris to leave because this place is driving her crazy. Iris gets angry, feeling like Katie always takes things away from her even now. The creature listens to their conversation as they argue. In sadness, Katie leaves the place and goes to Fredland to look for answers. In Fredland, Katie finds an abandoned place with clues on the wall. She gathers them and leaves a voicemail for Iris. She offers the creature her father's watch as a means to communicate with him. When her father sees her, he apologizes for leaving, explaining he tried to return, but her mother fell ill and ultimately passed away. Iris asks her father how to control the creature, but he confesses he knows nothing about it, only that its power increases with each use. Suddenly, her father's form is engulfed in flames and he tells her never to summon him again. Katie returns and heads to the basement. Suddenly, the creature appears behind her, prompting her to flee towards the stairs. In a startling turn, the creature grabs a picture and devours it. Then it removes the mask, revealing a man named Otto. He explains that the creature was once a woman with the ability to revive the dead. The Brotherhood discovered her power and tried to exploit it. When she refused, they labeled her a witch and burned her alive. However, her death led to dark occurrences, prompting the Brotherhood to perform a ritual to imprison her. Despite this, they continued to abuse her power, leading to grave consequences. He asks her if she is the gatekeeper, and she says no. Then he tells her that there are no answers for her, only pain before attacking her. Downstairs, Iris receives a call from Katie and hurries to investigate. But she hears Katie's voice coming from a hole instead. Venturing deeper into the tunnel, she discovers Katie's lifeless body, filled with rage and grief. Iris vows to end the creature's existence. In a desperate bid to escape, she races towards the exit as the creature relentlessly chases her. Meanwhile, Neil enters the basement and provides Iris with medication to relieve her pain, assuring her his support. However, when Iris wakes up during the night, she discovers that the pills Neil gave her were actually sleeping pills. She overhears Neil conversing with the creature in the basement, offering himself as her guardian. Sarah steps forward and tells him to kill Iris, just like he killed his family. If Neil wants to be the guardian, he hesitates. But when he finds out Iris knows the truth, he chases her to kill her. On the roof, he tries to strangle her, but Iris hits him on the head and runs away. He grabs her on the stairs and lets her go, causing her to fall to her death. He then brings her body to the creature, who consumes an object belonging to Iris. Iris herself emerges from the creature's form. Neil asks Iris how he can become her guardian, but the creature thanks him for killing her former guardian. It reveals that the name on the deed is Iris and she is still her master. The creature reveals that she was the one pulling all the strings to set herself free, and she succeeded. Suddenly, the lights go out and the creature pulls Neil toward the hole. His mother grabs his arms and breaks them, while his wife takes hold of his head and bangs it on the floor. Iris enters and strikes Neil with a chair to end his suffering. The creature, now resembling Iris, flees the property, and soon the entire place is engulfed in flames and the story ends. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon.